Don't know if you got a girl. Don't mean no disrespect, but thoughts of you rule my world. I even dream of you, I swear. Visions of you and I.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with a video on how to highlight and contour your face. How I do it, how it can help you do it, a couple tips and tricks that I do, and things that I do and why I do them. So it's gonna be like an in-depth tutorial focusing on how I highlight and contour my face. No eye makeup, no nothing, just that. Okay, sis? But yeah, that's basically all I have for this video. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. You guys, so I already have my foundation on, of course, and my eyes and my brows. Basically, I'm just really gonna talk to you guys about how I highlight and contour my face, what might work for you and what works for me, and stuff like that. So let's just get right into it. So of course, you always want to have a range of concealer shades. Of course, because highlighting, you want to go 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, and for contouring you want to go 1 to 2 or maybe even 3 to 4 shades darker, depending on what you like, what's your preference. But for me, I like to keep my highlight bright but natural. So whenever I go into highlight, I like to go in with the shade that's my skin color first, then I go in with the shade that's lighter because I don't want it to just be a pop of color out of nowhere. And I know right now my foundation might look a little bit orangey or darker than my skin. I am going to fix that. I have my way to fix it, so just stay tuned. That's why this is kind of part of my highlight and contour routine. So because I have kind of like a round oblong kind of face shape, I like to keep my highlight in this area right here, and I put it on my chin just to balance it out so I don't just have a lot of highlight going on here and here. So I'm going to apply my highlight here. I'm not gonna, the reason why you see me take it out all the way here is because I just like to blend it, but sometimes I like to just keep it where my brow stops so I could keep my face in or keep it looking long. That's when you would bring it all the way down to here. So first I'm going to use this shade from LA Girl Pro Concealer, of course, and this is the shade Toffee. Usually I use Toffee or Fawn for this step right here. And excuse the eyeshadow look, I'm not feeling it. I honestly wanted to take it all off, but don't nobody got time for all that, so I had to make amends with it and make it work. So yeah, as I said, I'm gonna go and stop right at the edge of my brow. And as you guys know, these concealers are the bomb. This is what I started with. I have a full face using LA Girl products only, so definitely check that out. But yes, these concealers are prettybomb.com. So the next concealer I'm going to go in with is this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Tan. Now this shade is pretty light for me, that's why I go in with the skin tone kind of shade first. And then I apply this just to top it off and give me that highlight color that I want. And like, you guys, really, it's your preference. You gotta play around with it to find out what suits you, what you like the best, and what, you know, works for you. Because what works for me might not work for you. You might have an oval face. You might want to make it look more round, so you'd bring your highlight out a little bit more and go a little bit less on the contour, if you know what I'm saying. And if you have a round face and want to make it look more slim, you're going to bring your highlight as far down as you can and contour more than you would. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about balancing out your features and bringing up and bringing out what you want to bring out and hide what you want to hide. And we'll get into the hiding part later, because trust me, girl, I'll be hiding. So typically when I do my highlight, I like to wait for it to sit a little bit and cook. Not really cook, but I like to wait for it to sit and, you know, make it do what it do. And today I'm going to try something different for the sake of this video as well. Because my foundation does look a little bit dark, I'm just going to apply concealer right here just to lighten my foundation. But you could do this too. I just normally don't do this because I already bake under here, so I don't want to go too much, but just for the sake of trying something new and teaching you guys about highlighting, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to wait this out a little bit, like I said, and I'll be back to blend it out with you guys. So when it comes to highlighting the face, the way you blend out your makeup really does matter. So real quick, let me just blend this part out, since this is my first time kind of doing this thing right here. And I don't know if I'm going to regret it. Let me blend it out with my foundation brush so my foundation could kind of mix in with it. And I'm going to blend it straight like this. I'm not going to blend it like this so it could create any harsh lines. I'm just going to blend it in. So as you saw when I tried to blend it out with the concealer brush that I usually do, it just looked kind of harsh and crazy. So I go in with my foundation brush and I like how that looks better. So I'm gonna blend out my chin, and I like to blend out my nose last because it makes it more sharper and precise. So I'm just gonna blend this out, and I take this around my mouth, kind of just highlight it and fan it out. And then I like to alternate brushes to make sure it's a nice blend and not looking cray. Go on with the forehead, and I just follow the way my forehead goes, and then I like to dot in. And with the Beauty Blender as well, you can do the same technique, but with the Beauty Blender, you don't really have to swipe to move the product. You just really have to blend like this. But with the brushes, sometimes you might have to swipe. And you see how nice of a blend I get there. Now I feel as though I have a big forehead, so you'll see when I contour how I achieve my smaller forehead. Don't tell nobody. But yeah, so just blend these out. Now when I get to my under eye, I like to start up and gently press under the eye, and then after I get all the product that I have under the eye, I start to disperse it out and make it even with everything else. Because if I start on the outer, I'm taking away all the product from the inner, and then I'll be left with nothing, and it'll just be pointless as to why I just did that, you know, highlight. So I like to start at the very tip, and I bring it to the edges of my nose to help me contour it later, you'll see. And then I start up, gently dab it in, dab, and then I go to the edges. And I do bring this out as much as I can because I don't want the product to bunch up in one area and look cakey, so I really do bring it out. And then when it gets too far out like this, I take that foundation brush once again, and I, you know, blend out the edges and make sure, like right here, I blend out the edges and make sure that it's even. And today I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette. Like I said, LA Girl has a range of colors, a huge shade range of colors where you can choose from, but just because I've been liking this palette lately, I'm gonna go with it. So as you can see, there's 3 different contour shades. This palette comes in 3 different shades. This is the deep color, and these are the shades on the back. Now I know highlighting contouring is not new. I'm probably late on this video, but for my subscribers, for the people that don't know, contouring is supposed to make things look stronger and sometimes smaller. So what you're gonna do, I'm taking this shade right here. I alter from every shade depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I even mix. But for my contour, sometimes I like to really look cut to where I bring it down here, but I haven't been liking that lately because I feel like it's too low. So I'm gonna just take this Real Techniques, come on here. So I'm gonna take this Real Techniques foundation brush, and I'm gonna line it up with my ear and stop it halfway. And gradually bring it down to where I think it's enough. So about that thick. This is a thick product, keep that in mind. So when blending it out, it's gonna be a hassle, but it's nothing that I can't handle, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still love the product, it doesn't make me hate the product. So then I like to go on my chin because I like my chin to look, you know, a little bit sharp and defined, not like fat and all over the place. And then for my forehead, I like to I don't like to make like a straight line. I like to follow the way my forehead goes. So I like to like bring it back into my forehead rather than bring it forward. And this is gonna make my forehead appear smaller. I like to connect my contour with where I started it. And then I don't like to cream contour my nose because I feel like that gets a little messy for me. Like, I don't have the right brush to blend that out, so I just don't even go there. So then I go back with the foundation brush, and I'm going to really blend. Now, as you can see, this contour looks really seamless, and I want it to be a little bit more darker so you guys could see more of an effect that contouring has. So I am going to go with the darker shade in a second. But for my forehead contour, I don't like it to be dark, so I'm going to just leave it like that. But as you can see, I'm following the way my forehead is going. I'm not blending forward, I'm blending backwards. And if you do it with a beauty blender or a sponge, you're gonna follow as well, the same way. I don't know if you can tell, I'll zoom in for you real quick, that my eyeshadow has creased a little bit. So what I like to do is take my brush and re-go under there real quick. Re-go under there, that didn't even make no sense, but you get what I'm saying. I like to go under there, and then after I do that, go to my nose real quick. You see how slim and precise that made my nose? That's how I like it. And then I like to blend it into my brows so it's not looking harsh. After that is done, of course you want to go in and set your concealer. And the reason why you want to set your concealer is so it doesn't crease. Now, I've been gravitating towards this Dermablend Professional setting powder, and I'm going to use that because I have noticed a little bit that I've been creasing a little bit more with Laura. Not that I hate Laura or anything, I just haven't been, you know, feeling her lately. So you want to set and get an even amount. You could do this with a damp beauty sponge or a damp beauty blender or a dry one, or you can even do this with a brush, but I like to do beauty blender because it gets it done evenly, like so. And then I like to just apply it evenly. If you have like, see the way your product is, you want to make sure you get enough out of there. Don't be scared that it's going to be a lot. Just make sure that you have enough, because if it's not even, it's going to look like patches in your makeup. You want to set all the places that you put highlighting concealer on to highlight your face. And as your bake is setting, you want to go in with your powder to set your contour. And today I have this BH Cosmetics contour palette. It's very affordable. I think it's about $12 to $14. Definitely check out their website and see. And then yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is take this middle reddish shade right here and mix it with this shade right here. And I'm going to contour and just further set my contour, going in circular motions. And the reason why you do this while this is baking, because contour can't mix in with the setting powder, so it won't go all over your highlighter. You know what I'm saying? So you're not looking, you know, too dark and bringing your contour too high. So this stops it from going up. Sometimes I like to go under my neck just to make sure my foundation isn't too light under there. And then for my forehead, same thing. I like to go in the direction. Don't be afraid to get it into your hairline, because that's the only way it's going to really look natural. I like to take my Morphe M524 brush with those same shades, and that's when I go in and kind of powder contour the nose. Honestly, I never used to contour my nose because I was scared to. So if you're scared to do something, the only way you're going to get better at it is if you try and keep practicing. Like, nobody's going to be perfect the first time they do something. It takes a lot of practice to do something to the best of your ability and do it good. So just make sure you practice, okay? So I used to think that the lighter you are, the more you bake, and the darker you are, the less you bake. I remember hearing that somewhere, but I don't think that's the case. You bake as long as you think you need to, however long, until you're ready to take your face out the oven. That's when you start baking, okay? So I'm gonna let mine sit. I like to let mine sit for a long time, then I'll be back and, you know, finish the look. Okay, so honestly, that's it to highlighting and contouring. I do one more extra step that I am gonna share with you guys after I let this sit for a little bit, but that's basically what it is. You do what works for you, and just take your time to blend, because you want to have well blended makeup. And to do that, you really have to know your features, what you want to enhance and what you want to, you know, put in the shadow, and then that's it. So now that I have let my bake sit for a little bit, I'm going to blend it out with my Morphe E2. And this brush, I love it because it's so fluffy, it's so soft to the skin, and it's just so easy to blend with. Also, real quick, sometimes I feel like I want to bronze the face, and because I haven't done this in a long time, I'm going to take my Milani Baked Bronzer in the color 04 Glow, and I'm just going to bronze. So the next thing I like to do, this is my favorite thing. If you have been watching me on my videos, you know that I love this. This is my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. And I like to dot, you know, this foundation brush. I think this is a buffing brush from Real Techniques, and I like to buff that into the skin on the large areas though, you'll see. So right here, I like to make it even right here. So I'm just bringing that back to skin because I did bake under there. Anywhere I baked, I used this. So everywhere, everywhere here, and then I go a little bit here, but I'm not done with that area. To go in with this contour brush from Real Techniques, and this one is really good for getting under the eye area. So I like to go in with that and make sure I have an even skin tone right here. So no flashback. And that's basically it. So I'm gonna finish up my makeup and we'll chit chat a little bit more at the end of the video. And yeah. Alright everyone, so here's the finished look that I have here. This is how I look after I highlight, contour, and yeah. So here it is. As you can see, when you look, my face looks a little bit more chiseled and, you know, stronger here. I really hate the way my hair is laying, in case you guys are wondering. So as I was saying, you guys, here is the finished look. I hope you guys learned something and took something from this video. If you just watched it just to watch it, shout out to you. More power to you. You loyal. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. Check out some other uploads on my channel. Videos of me and my boyfriend. Videos of me doing makeup. Videos of me talking about makeup products. Whatever it is. But yeah, that's basically it. I love you. Remember, be you in your own beauty. Don't let nobody take that from you. And until next time, I'll see you in my next upload. Alright? Love you. Mwah. Bye.